guys, welcome back. I'm Maddie from Stride and Edge. So today's class I give you a nice 30-minute hips class. So we'll be doing some nice deep stretches through the hips and flowing backwards and forwards. We'll also be doing Pyrimid Pose. So I really do advise that you use 2 yoga blocks in your Pyrimid Pose. So you can either use yoga blocks, or if you don't have yoga blocks you can just use some big chunky books. But if you know that you don't need the blocks, then that's absolutely fine, you don't need them. So if you need to grab the blocks, then just pause the video and grab them now. I hope you do enjoy this class, so please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel because we are bringing you lots of new classes weekly, and if you want to be the first to know, then subscribe to the channel now, please. And let me know in the comments below if you like this class, and did you need yoga blocks or did you think it was fine without the yoga blocks? Let me know. It's always great for your feedback, and I hope you enjoyed this class. I'll see you back on the mat. So we're going to start in a seated position today. So we're going to be working a little bit into those hips. So I want you to get yourself nice and comfortable. If you want to, you can sit on a cushion or a yoga bolster if you have one. And then just think about those knees drawing out and then rolling those shoulders up, back and down. So you've got a nice long spine. A slight tuck of the chin to lengthen out the neck. And then closing your eyes. And then just start to take a little scan through the body, noticing how you're feeling. And then we'll start to bring awareness to our breath. So if you want to, you can place your right hand on your stomach and bring your left hand up onto your chest. And just already start to feel the breath coming in and out. Start to really slow things down. And you're focusing on yourself. And then start to deepen the breath now. Big breath in for 1, 2, 3, holding at the top. And then exhale out for 3, 2, and 1. Do that again. Long inhale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hold at the top. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. This time 5 counts. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just take a big breath in and out. And you can gently open the eyes now. And then from here, we'll just start to take, you can bring your hands onto your knees, just start to take a little rock side to side. And then forwards and backwards. And then we'll start to draw some big circles one way. You can take this nice and slow, so really getting into all those juicy parts in the hips. And then switch direction another way. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll come back through center. From here, start to take a little forward fold. So bring those hands out in front. And then thinking about those sit bones drawing down. And then you can start to walk the hands out in front, taking a little bit of a forward fold. If you want to, you can press into the hands, almost like you're pressing the body back or pressing those sit bones back into the mat. Inhale where you are. And exhale. And then walk the hands back up towards the shins. From here, just cross over your legs, so cross them the other way. So if the right shin was in front, now that left shin is in front. And again, we'll just start to do a little rock side to side. Forwards and backwards. Few little circles one way. May feel a little different when your legs are crossed the other way. And then switching direction. And then, like we did before, start to walk those hands out in front, finding a little fold. Again, if you want to, press into those hands to feel like you're drawing those sit bones back into the mat. Inhaling here. Exhale to stay. And then walk the hands back up towards the shins. This time we'll roll over the shins to bring ourselves all the way through into our tabletop position. Knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, fingers spread, rocking forwards and backwards, warming up through those wrists. So you can make little micro movements in your hands, side to side. Just finding a little bit of space in those wrists. And then bring yourself back to that neutral tabletop position. From here, moving through our cat-cows. Inhale, scoop the belly down, lift the chest, lift the chin. As we exhale, we then round the back. Press down through those hands, look up towards the belly button. We want to find even more space each time we do this. Inhale, as we drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale to then round the spine. Really press down through those hands. And we'll go for one more. Inhale. And exhale, rounding. And when you're ready, tuck the toes underneath. Press down through those hands. Lift the hips up and back to your first downward dog. Bend into those legs. Press through those hands to lengthen out through the spine. Inhaling here. Exhale, walk through the feet, drawing one heel down at a time. Start to feel that opening in the backs of the legs. Inhale and exhale. And then stop with the feet, keep them nice and still. We're going to inhale, rock forwards, find our high plank position. Shoulders over the wrists, squeeze the core, gaze forwards. Exhale as we take the hips up and back. And again, inhale as we shift forwards, high plank. Exhale as we take the hips up and back, downward dog. One more time, inhale as we come forwards. Exhale as we take it back. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. And as we exhale, I want you to bend the knee and open up that hip. So the hip is stacking on top of the left. You may even notice that that left heel draws down a little bit closer towards the mat. And maybe you can look over your left shoulder and see if you can see that right foot. You can give a little wiggle. Inhaling here. And then as we exhale, I want you to step that foot all the way through, in between the hands. Big step up. If you need to, drop the back knee. Just shimmy that front foot forwards and then lift that back knee up. So you've got that nice big stance. And make sure your feet are on train tracks, they're not in line with one another. And then from here, I want you to sink those hips down nice and low. And you can come and lift up that chest, come up onto your fingertips, inhale. And as we exhale, start to straighten that front leg and find our pyramid pose. So if now you have those yoga blocks, you might want to grab them and just bring them underneath your shoulders. And then from here, we bend back into that front leg, find that low lunge, lift the chest. Again, it might be nice to have those fingertips on the blocks, inhale. As we exhale, straighten that front leg, find that pyramid pose, folding down. And again, inhale, bend into that front leg, sink those hips, really feeling that nice stretch through that front left hip flexor. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the front leg, folding down, pyramid pose, feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Inhaling here, and exhale. Bend back into that front leg. If you need to, you can move the blocks to the side. Plant the hands, step back through your Vinyasa, high plank position, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, you can drop the knees, elbows back halfway. Flipping onto the tops of the feet, press into the feet, straighten the arms, find upward facing dog. Exhale, take the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Other side, we inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale to bend the knee, open up that hip. Again, that right heel might feel like it's drawing a little bit closer towards the mat. And if you can look over your right shoulder, maybe you can see that left foot. So it's drawing over towards that right hand side. Inhaling here. As we exhale, step that foot through in between the hands as high up as we can, making any little adjustments we need to, and then sink those hips down into our low lunge. If you need to, grab the blocks now. We can come onto those fingertips, lift the chest. Inhale. As we exhale, straightening that front leg, find our pyramid pose. Blocks underneath the shoulders, folding down. Inhale, shift forwards, bend into that front leg, find our low lunge, lift the chest. Exhale, pyramid pose, folding down. One more time, inhale, shift forwards, low lunge, sink those hips. Exhale, pyramid pose, folding over that straight leg. And then from here we inhale, bend into the front leg, move the blocks if we need to, and we step back into our Vinyasa. High plank, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. And start to walk through the feet. And then taking your time, we'll walk the feet all the way up to the top of the mat. Meeting in a forward fold. Feet hip distance apart, little bend in the legs. Just find this ragdoll motion, so nice and heavy with that upper body, swaying side to side. Shake the head, release the neck. You can take a hold of opposite elbows with your arms, with your hands. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, inhale and exhale. And then release the hands down towards the mat. We're going to roll all the way up to standing. Head comes up, last roll the shoulders up, back and down. Arms by the sides, palms facing forwards. Take a big breath in, fill the lungs. Inhale. Open the mouth, exhale it out. And again, inhaling. And exhaling. And then from here, take those feet out a little bit wider, turn the toes out slightly, coming down into our malasana. Start to bend into those legs, those knees drawing out wide, sinking those hips down. You can take a little wiggle down. Getting those hips down as low as we can without our heels lifting. But just thinking about those knees drawing out wide. You can either use your hands or even your elbows. Inhaling here and exhale. I want you to bring those hands down the mat and then you can lift those hips a little higher. We're going to step the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Big step back, drop the back knee down, untuck the toes. We find ourselves in our lizard pose. Here you can give yourself a little wiggle, working into those hips a bit. Inhaling and exhaling. If you want, you can come down onto the forearms if that's available for you. Or even having a little play with tucking the back toes, lifting that back knee up. Breathing here, inhale. Any little micro movements you can find, little rocks forwards and backwards, gentle bounces. And then everyone bring themselves back up onto their hands. We're going to step the back foot all the way to the top, to the outside of that left hand. Sitting back into our yoga squat just one more time, sink those hips. And then going through the other side. So plant those hands, step the right foot all the way to the back. And once again, drop the back knee down, untuck the toes into our lizard pose, really sinking into those hips. Any little movements you want. You can have a little play around here, either walking the hands out in front. You can come down to the forearms. Or even tucking the back toes and lifting that back knee up. Just take some nice big deep breaths in, breathing into that hip. Exhale to stay. And again, you don't have to be still. You can find some little movements if you want to. Inhale and exhale. And then everyone coming back up onto their hands. Tuck the back toes, and then from here we're going to step all the way back to our downward dog. Both feet at the back of the mat. Just start to walk through the feet. And from here, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. As we exhale, step that foot through as close as we can between those hands. If you need to, just shimmy that front foot forwards. And then we're going to drop the back heel down, so that foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. And then we inhale, stand up strong, lifting up into our warrior two. Gaze forwards, bending into that front leg. And then here, just make sure that that knee is not falling in, but you're actively drawing it out wide, so we're still opening up through that front hip. Inhaling here, exhale to stay. And again, inhale. Strong in those legs, exhale, stay. One more breath, inhale. And exhale. From here, we're going to transition into Skandasana. So what we want to do is we want to straighten that front leg and then look to the back foot. Turn the back toes out just slightly, 45 degrees. And we're going to start to shift the weight towards the back of the mat. So bending into that back leg, nice and deep. If you want to, you can start to lift those front toes. And then just come down as low as you want. You can even bring those hands down. And if you want to, you can lift that heel up to take those hips nice and low. So from here, you can either have that heel up, or the heel might be drawing down, or wherever we are, we want that knee to be drawing out wide. Inhaling here, and exhale. One more breath, inhale, and exhale. This time, bring the hands down towards the mat. We're going to walk the hands all the way across towards the top of the mat, turning the toes to face the front. We find ourselves back in our low lunge, bending into that front leg, sink the hips down. You need to grab those blocks again. You can do, inhaling here. And then as we exhale, we straighten that front leg, fold into our pyramid pose once again. Inhale here, you can lift the chest, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. You can stay here, or you can play around with flexing that front foot, lifting those toes up, really feeling that stretch in the calf and the back of the leg. Inhaling here, and exhale. And plant that foot down. Then back into that front leg, move the blocks if you need to. And we're going to step back through our Vinyasa. Finding high plank, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga halfway down. Inhale to our back bend, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, hips up and back, find downward facing dog. Other side, we inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale to step that foot through, big step up towards the top of the mat. Drop the back heel down, setting up for our warrior two. We inhale, rise up, take the gaze forwards, bend into that front leg. And again, just make sure that that knee is drawing out wide. We're still opening up into that front hip, so you can see the inside of that left foot. Inhaling here. And exhale, sink a little deeper into that front leg. And again, inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. Exhaling to stay. Transitioning back into our Skandasana, we straighten that front leg. Take a look at the back leg, turn the toes out, and start to bend into that back leg, transitioning into the back of the mat, sinking those hips down nice and low. Just check in, you can have those front toes lifted up. Inhaling here. Exhale to stay. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more breath, inhale. Exhale. Start to bring those hands down. Start to lift the hips and walk those hands all the way to the front of the mat, turning the toes to face the front. Bend into that front leg, find that low lunge. Use your blocks if you want to. Inhaling here, lift the chest. Exhale, straighten that front leg. Find your pyramid pose one last time. Inhaling here, find a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhaling and exhaling. Then back into that front leg, plant the hands, last vinyasa, high plank, inhale, exhale, chaturanga halfway. Inhale, back bend, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, bring the knees down, untuck the toes, find your child's pose. And then from here, if you want to, you can take the knees out a little bit wider. And then keep those toes together and really sink those hips down as you bring the arms reaching out in front. So you're finding this little hip opener as well. Inhaling here. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. And slowly now bring those hands all the way back up. Bring the knees together, one at a time. And then roll over one side of your hip to bring the legs out in front. Coming into our forward fold. You can take a hold of the backs of the knees, roll the shoulders back, keeping that spine nice and long. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As we exhale, take a forward fold. Reach those hands all the way up and over. Try and keep that back nice and flat as much as we can. And then wherever we are, if you start to feel the back rounding, then just come back a little bit and then bring those hands down. Inhaling where we are. Exhale to fold. Inhaling again. And exhaling. And slowly come back up. Take a hold of the backs of the knees, bringing them up, plant the feet down, hip distance apart. Just scooch the butt up towards the heels, and we'll roll all the way down onto our backs. Coming into our bridge pose here, just make sure you can tickle the back of the heels with your fingertips. We're going to inhale, press through the feet, lift the hip bones up. Make sure your knees don't fall out wide, but they're actively drawing together. You can walk the shoulder blades underneath. Inhaling here. Exhale to stay. And again, inhale, press through those feet. Exhaling, stay. And this time, inhale, come up onto the toes, lift the heels. Exhale, roll down the spine. Taking your time, nice and slowly. And then from there, I just want you to tick-tock the knees side to side. Releasing that lower back. So from here, we are going to, if you want to, take an inversion of shoulder stand. So if you don't want to take a shoulder stand or an inversion, that's absolutely fine. You can just take a nice long Shavasana. Or if you are next to a wall, you can even bring your feet up and just let them rest. Just let the blood flow from your feet all the way down. Or if you do want to take shoulder stand, what we do is we start on our backs and just start to bring the knees into the chest, and then you take a little hop in to lift those hips up off the ground, and those feet are going to roll all the way towards the back of the mat. Now I really stress not to move your head here, just to protect that neck. So from here, we're in our plow pose, so those feet are all the way towards the back of the mat, and then you start to place your hands on your lower back, making sure that your elbows are drawing in, so you're pressing into the backs of your arms, those triceps are pressing down into the mat. So you've got a hold of the back, your lower back, and then from here you can slowly start to bring one foot up towards the ceiling. And then maybe we stay here, and you can just switch the legs. Or if you slowly using that core, bring that other leg all the way up towards the ceiling. And then from there, you can start to walk the hands up your back towards your shoulders, pressing those hips forwards. So you've got that nice vertical line from your tiptoes all the way to your shoulder blades. Coming down whenever you want to,
Just staying here, letting the blood rush from your feet all the way to your heart. Inhale and exhale. And slowly to come out, you can start to bend into the legs, drawing them in, and then walk the hands back down the back towards your sit bones. And then from there, we'll roll all the way down through the spine. Let those feet come all the way back, down towards the mat. And then once we're there, just let those feet go out long. Everyone find themselves in their Shavasana. Arms by the sides, palms facing up. Eyes are closed. Letting go of the breath. Just let the body be heavy against the ground. And start to bring awareness back to the breath. Find some movement in those fingers and toes. And then you can even reach your arms up overhead, find a full body stretch. And then in your own time, you can roll onto your side. Give yourself a moment. And then slowly bring yourself all the way up to a comfortable seated position. Like we found at the beginning of the class. And from here, just roll those shoulders up, back and down. Eyes are still closed. Bring the palms together. Namaste.